tell of how you fell from the sky, your once proud beauty of flame, to vanish from your throne on high, and only a memory of your name. Rainbow bird, almighty phoenix, come once more into the eyes of man. From the ancient days of Atlantis, in century number 10 times 10 times 10.
All right. I am Clayton Douglas. I am the Free American. This is not part of my regular show, but I wanted to share it with you. You know, folks, what I in this song that I wrote 40 years ago is basically started writing a story, started writing a novel, science fiction at the time, and I have tried to point out to you that we're in a war, and it's a battle that's been going on for a very, very long time. All of human history, even the Bible, is about oppression and common men fighting against it. Now, what has happened with religions is they have basically taken it over, and they dictate who your enemies are. They dictate who you're going to fight, and they don't always point us at the right ones. John Kaminski. Now, this is John Kaminski is on my show on a regular basis. He'll be on it in a future show. I highly recommend that you go listen to him, because what he's talking about, the chosen ones that you hear about in the Bible are the ones that want to rule over you. They're assuming an identity that ain't there. But it's even older, much older than the last 100 years that we've been under the Federal Reserve System. We really need the end of the world coming up. We really need that, because the world that we need to end is the world of the banksters, and get back to a world that works for the people, that's good for the people, that presents a positive way. Is it done? That presents a positive way. Now, that's what my plan for Liberty Villages was, folks. It was a way to get back to nature, to feed yourself, to generate your own energy. That's still viable. You can do it in your neighborhood. All it takes is people working together. But the novels that I'm working on now, the novels that I'll be working on this year, go back further than 100 years. I've got Mystery Babylon, which is available right now, that will show you what's happened in the last 200 years. But what I did 40 years ago and spent the last 40 years studying is how far back this really goes. How far back does it go? Who is the bad guy here? Hard to tell, and that's why they put that little thing in the Bible about the tares and the wheat. Now, happening right now today, the U.S. is in Afghanistan is building a $92 million Pentagon, massive 5-story military headquarters with domed roofs and high-tech basement command center that will link Afghan generals with their troops. Even with American troops beginning their withdrawal, the U.S. government is still working its way through a $10 billion menu of construction projects. They're also building $54 million Kabul headquarters for the Interior Ministry, which oversees the Afghan police, and a $102 million base for the military. And folks, they're doing that here too, right now. The tab for an Afghan supply route hits $2.1 billion. Pakistan's refusal to let NATO access its ports and roads into Afghanistan has cost the Pentagon more than $2.1 billion in extra transportation costs to move supplies and equipment in and out of the country. Was Pakistan supposed to be our friend? Maybe not, huh? So Kaminski says that what will save our future is understanding our true past. Realizing this is the only way we will survive. This is why men have killed everyone and everything to achieve something that cannot be achieved. He talks about the missing mother. Knowing the real reason why human society is destroying itself requires us to understand events that happened 12,000 years ago. Before the time human civilization was ravaged and nearly went extinct due to a series of catastrophic celestial and geophysical events. Folks, this is exactly what I wrote about in the future past. And I wrote about the civilization that existed before this time period. And what Kaminski said, through his own independent research, never having read my books, that prior to this apocalyptic sequence of disasters, all societies in the world venerated the principle of regeneration and undeniable miracle of the female reproductive cycle, represented by the great cosmic mother who was uniformly respected by all who lived, causing order and harmony to prevail everywhere, out of the gratitude for her magical gift of life. Ancient legends, as we now know them, invariably refer to this as Earth's golden age. I refer to it as Atlantis in my books that I started 40 years ago. But when giant fragments of comets and meteors crossed the path of Earth repeatedly over 8,000 years, a period of 8,000 years, simultaneously fracturing, scorching, and burying our planet's surface, continents sunk and what land remained was flooded and scrambled by a profusion of volcanoes and earthquakes for many millennia.